Hi, I'm Lance Henriksen. You're watching Bryan Lomax Movie Talk.
Legend follows the real-life characters of Ronald and Reginald Kray, the Kray twins, who ruled London with essentially an iron fist as gangsters. Their story has been adapted into film before with The Krays, which starred the Kemp brothers. This one, however, is much better than that film. Not that that film was bad by any stretch of the imagination, but this one we get Tom Hardy playing both the twin brothers. Hardy absolutely excels in this film. It is brilliantly scripted and brilliantly directed by Brian Helgeland. The script isn't quite as tight as, say, LA Confidential, which he previously wrote, which is still his best work, but it is a really brilliant script. The script does, however, have a couple of flaws, the primary one being the character played by Emily Browning, Francine. This is Reggie's wife. For me, she never really strikes up enough sympathy as I think Helgeland would want me to have. She knows what she's getting into from the start, really. She knows these guys are gangsters, and she goes all the way to marrying one, and then it kind of all falls apart. And I guess she realises she can't change him as she probably thought she could. And for me, it doesn't allow me to sympathise with her in a way that I would have liked to. Sometimes the tone of the film is also a little misjudged. There are lots of moments of humour which are really very well judged, but there's one particular moment, like when someone gets shot in the head and we get this kind of moment where they smile before they collapse, and it feels like it was ripped out of Alien Resurrection. I remember seeing Alien Resurrection, and there's that bit where the guy pulls a bit of his brain out the back of his head, and it was just, it was that moment during that film when I realised this is it, the film's going to go downhill from there. Thankfully that didn't happen with Legend. However, that moment that I'm talking about in here, it did have the same kind of impact on me. It was like, it took me out of the seriousness of that moment. However, like I said, there are other moments of humour that really do strike a good chord, and that's mainly because of Tom Hardy's performance. As I say, he excels here as both of these brothers, and he makes them two completely distinct characters. You never believe that it's one actor playing them both, so when he's on screen together with himself, you actually feel like this is two separate entities, this is two different people. Another thing that this film does really well is just point out the title of this film, Legend, which is what these characters have become. A lot of the truth surrounding these characters, I think, will never really be discovered. We only have the legend. We only have what people have told through various stories throughout time. I mean, the film opens up with voiceover telling us about everybody having their own different version of events, their own different story about the Krays and how they met them at some point. And really that's what this film is about. It's about the legend, the myth, so to speak, and I don't think we'll ever really get to know these guys in any true sense of the word, but the legend that is printed here is quite an entertaining one. It's also an extremely violent one. There are many moments throughout this film where if you've got a bit of a weak constitution, then you may not want to sit through this. However, if you can handle that kind of stuff, I think you'll be deeply satisfied with this film, and I give it an 8 out of 10. So if you've seen this film, I want to know what you think. Do you think this film stands up to the previous film, the Krays, as I say, the one starring the Kemp brothers, or do you think it's better? Personally, I think it's better. Anyway, comment below, let me know, and until next time, thanks for watching. For me,